Frequently asked question number 46. What does it mean when your succulent grows a flower? Now guys, all succulent plants and cacti have the capability to bloom at some point of their life cycle. Now this all depends upon the location and the conditions. They have to be right in order for the succulent to bloom. So basically the succulent has to be happy, the succulent has to be comfortable in its soil, the climate, the dormancy and the non-dormancy has to be in place, and that's when if it's a summer growing succulent, it is going to bloom during the summers. If it's a winter growing succulent, it will bloom during the winters. So at all point of time, if you have different varieties of succulents, they are going to bloom in that time frame. Now guys, this is the funny thing in my city, or I would say for a lot of people who belong to a tropical environment, because as I've spoken about this earlier as well, a lot of the succulents are not from a tropical environment. They are basically from a very dry, cool, some of them tend to grow in mountains, some of them tend to grow in arid conditions, some of them tend to even grow in rainforest. Yes, there are some succulents that tend to grow in forest as well. There are certain varieties of agoides, which are the natural varieties of agoides that are found in forest as well, on the forest floor. So there are certain, so they are basically distributed everywhere. They are in Madagascar, they are in Mexico, they are certain succulents in South Africa. They are basically everywhere. Now in my country, they are not native. My country is not native to succulents, or probably they might be, but they are not discovered. But major succulents or the Echeverias tend to come from Mexico. A lot of them tend to come from Madagascar, from South Africa, from some islands and all that. Even California, I think there are some succulents which are native to California as well. So they are in different places. But now this is my Graptopelaum medosa. Now we all know that Graptopelaum is summer dormant, but you can see even during summers it had just bloomed, it had put out blooms. Now guys, I don't add any fertilizers, but still you can see it had bloomed, because I did have this question that the jade plant is growing during the dormant period. Now this is why mostly if we are from tropical environment, this environment is very confusing for succulents, because at times it's warm, at times it's cold. Last time during summers the temperatures were up to 33 degrees Celsius. Because of a cyclone, the temperatures dropped almost to 17 degrees Celsius in my city. So you can imagine the amount of fluctuation in the temperature in the summer season I'm talking about, which is supposed to be the dormant season for our Graptopelaum. But you can see it had recently bloomed. The bloom has dried off, so I just wanted to show you guys as well. Now I'm not saying that this is happening with all of my succulents, but there are certain varieties of succulents which are supposed to be dormant but will still bloom during the dormant period, which is very unusual. Probably even they are very confused about the environment. Now this is a very common scenario. A lot of my succulents do follow the dormancy and the non-dormancy table, but there is this one-off cases wherein they will put out blooms even during the dormant period. So there is nothing to be worried about that. Probably the succulent is comfortable, probably the succulent is not feeling that it's necessary to go dormant at that particular season, so at times it will start to bloom. So I just leave it as it is. I haven't pulled out that bloom, I just left it as it is, and it has done its work. Probably it has already got pollinated and the seeds might have got dispersed, which I don't think they are going to be growing those seeds, because it is not the season for them to grow from the seeds. So probably the seeds might have dispersed in the soil and they might have got destroyed. But as I said, it's very tricky because of the climate change. The succulents sometimes do act little weird, and you have seen this dormant succulent just happened to bloom during the summers. So as the experts say, succulents are opportunistic growers. If they feel that there is an opportunity to grow, they will definitely grow, irrespective of whether it's getting care or not. It will still thrive. You might have seen at times succulents tend to grow in the most difficult parts wherein it's not even supposed to grow. At times we give so much of care for our succulent in the pot and it does not do quite well, but a succulent that might have fallen down somewhere in between the cracks of the ground, it will start to grow very well. So they are very opportunistic growers. If they feel that the conditions are right, they will thrive and grow. So guys, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and thank you so much for watching.